All right, in today's video, I'm going to share with you some absolute secrets on pitching it like a pro. Now, I'm not talking about pitching it okay or decent or pretty good. I'm talking about absolutely being a magician around the greens and being able to feel like you can set up over a shot like this and hit every single one of them with spin close to the hole, to almost feel like you could just toss it up there within tap-in range every single time. It can be that easy. I'm on a fairly tight lie here. Some people might get nervous on this. This isn't really long, fluffy grass. You'll see all these are coming out clean, and I'm just chopping them right up there by the hole. It can be easy once you learn the right technique. Now, there's a couple things I'm gonna go over in this video. I'm gonna go over what I call the front shoulder pivot, and we're gonna talk about how to get absolutely laser dialed in on your low point. You notice all those look like I was barely just brushing the grass, and I had an open face 60-degree wedge, but they're coming out low with a lot of spin. I want to share with you the secrets on how to make that happen. Let's go and get started. All right, so let's jump into the details on this. I'm going to break it down for you piece by piece. Now, as I started diving more and more into short game and really trying to master it myself, I realized it is extremely frustrating because there's so many different styles. You see some people saying to lock the hips in the lower body and use more of an upper body, like a putting type stroke. You see some people talking about rotating the body. Some people are going to tell you that you need to have a little more of a cut swing. Some people are going to tell you you need a little bit more of a draw swing. Play it off the toe, play it off the center, have the hands low, have the hands high. You're hearing all this different stuff. And I'm not saying that a lot of that doesn't work. And really, I think you can do a lot of different styles and make it work. I'm going to share with you the style that I have found works the best. And I'm going to break it down for you piece by piece. And I'm going to give you some drills that are going to seem a little counterintuitive, honestly. But once you try those out, you're going to see the results firsthand. You're going to see me hit some great shots here. And I know if you follow this, you're going to have a lot of success with it. So this isn't the only style that works, but this is a style that if you practice this, you do the drills that I'm going to give you here, make sure you bookmark this because you're going to want to refer to it because you're going to be chipping and pitching it awesome when you're doing this. So first off, I want my feet very close together. If my feet are farther apart and I'm using the kind of locked lower body style where I let my upper body do most of the work, I do not like that at all. And the reason is once you get a little farther away from the green like this, then locking your lower body, you really have to use so much upper body and hands and arms, like you really start to jab at it. It can be not that good once you get farther away. Now, if I have a little 10, 12 foot putt or a 10 or 12 foot chip, that can work perfectly fine. But as I get a little bit more distance, I want to go ahead and let that body rotate. I want my knees really close together. I want my feet really close together. I like to have my stance a little bit open as I go over here in a second, but I want them close together. That way I can pivot and rotate back and through, just as I was going to toss a golf ball up to the hole. So that's the first piece. I almost feel like your heels are within 2 or 3 inches of each other would be really good on a shot like this. And I really want my body to rotate back and through so that it's creating a momentum. And that's what we'll go over. A common theme in all this is that you want to have a momentum to your body and let it go back and through rather than trying to get jerky or jabby. Number 2, I want to have the face a little bit open. Simply for this, it gives me a little bit more margin for error for a couple reasons. As I open the face, this flange on the bottom of the club starts to get exposed and it helps it glide through the turf, which means less chunking and less thinning. It also allows me to get a little more forward shaft lean without de-lofting the club too much. So here I have a 60-degree wedge. I'm going to open the face a little. That probably turns it to, let's say, 65 degrees, something like that. And then I'm going to lean the shaft forward a little bit, which turns it back to its, a little less than 60 degrees at address. So that way my hands can be leaning in front. My hands can be leading the way as I make contact to this, which will make the contact more consistent, and I'll still have enough loft there to generate some spin. So here, a little bit open, the hands are leading the way, and again, I'm rotating my body every single time, getting that nice clean contact, even made one. All right, so this is gonna be pretty good. I feel like this is gonna be a nice video where everything's gonna start to come together from you. So we're off on a good start here, feet close together, body rotating, play the face a little bit open, play the hands a little bit up. Here's the part that is the most important of any of it. It's contact. You'll notice when I'm hitting these shots that I'm brushing the turf. I'm not digging down into it. So I'm not playing my hands forward with this leading edge square and hitting down into that where I'm really chopping down into the ground. If I do that, I could start to lay the sod over it. I could start to chunk some and thin some. So we definitely don't want that to happen because we're going to be inconsistent if we start to hit down into the ground too much. I'm also letting the momentum dictate my low point. So as I swing back and through here, as I go back and through, I'm feeling like, almost like I could take 2 fingers and just barely kind of let the momentum of the club swing as I let it fall out of my hands. That's how loose I'm holding it here, but let the momentum of this club swing and I could brush the turf. So I'm actually gonna do that. Open the face slightly, I'm gonna let my body pivot, and I'm just gonna take a couple fingers here in my left hand, and I'm gonna feel like I just brush the ground. That's the feeling that I wanna have to create that. So the reason the ball is coming out low is not because I'm de-lofting the club. The reason the ball is coming out low is because I do have a little forward shaft lean, but I'm hitting it so clean. What's happening is this club face is grabbing the ball. There's a lot of friction there, and because I'm hitting down on it slightly or level with the ground, that ball is grabbing the club face and coming out lower. It's not the loft on the club that's making that go fairly low. And on this one, I'm actually going to play the face open again. You'll see this by looking at my club face. It's fairly open, and I'm going to try to hit one really low just with a lot of really good friction. There you go. You see that never got much higher than pin high. I hit it a little hard trying to get more spin on it, and you'll see that it checked up. I almost landed to the hole and only rolled out 5 or 6 feet. Same thing there. Not really getting much above pin high, and you can see those checking up right by the flag. So the only way that can happen is getting good friction on there. The only way that you can get good friction is really control your low point by letting the club momentum dictate where you ground out. And you can see that one was nice and low there too. Let me hit one more, and then I'm going to show you the best drill to get the feel of this momentum for yourself and to really dial in on how I can come down and make the cleanest contact possible every time. So let's jump up on the green. I'm going to show you a drill that works great for this.